Church founder Apollo Kibuloy has been included in the US FBI's most wanted list. A political analyst weighs in on the recently conducted KBP Presidential Forum. And the Health Department logs the lowest COVID-19 positivity rate in over a month. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin the newscast with the Justice Department saying it has yet to receive a request to extradite Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. This came after the Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder and two other church members were placed under the US FBI's most wanted list. Justice Chief Minardo Guevara said the extradition process is governed by a treaty between the Philippines and the United States, wherein the U.S. State Department makes a request which will then undergo scrutiny by our Foreign Affairs Department. Kibuloy is wanted for conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, and bulk cash smuggling. Five presidential candidates laid out their economic plans for the country during a forum organized by the Kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez gives us a front seat to the story.
The five presidential candidates who showed up to the KBP's Banata Sabayan Presidential Forum had few differences when it came to economic policies. One of them was over the issue of online sabong. Only Manila City Mayor Isko Moreno and Senator Manny Pacquiao were in favor of it.
All these things must be regulated. I would rather put them under the authority and supervision of the state.
Siguraduhin ng ating gobyerno na makukulikta yung buhis. Kailangan lang po natin i-regulate.
Labor leader Leody de Guzman and Vice President Leni Robredo were outright not in favor, citing sabong's negative impact on the community, especially youth. While Senator Ping Lacson said he wants to study the issue first. Regarding land reclamations, de Guzman and Moreno were on opposite ends.
Kasi ang nakikinabang lang sa mga reclamation yan ay mga malalaking kapitalista.
Kung talagang naghahanap tayo ng pambayad ng utang, kita at trabaho, kailangan natin itong i-push through.
The other three were on the fence, saying every project will need to be assessed on its environmental impact. As to whether or not to create the Boracay Island Development Authority or BIDA, only Lacson and de Guzman expressed support. The bill will create a new government body to run Boracay and has already passed Congress. Vice President Robredo took a hard line against it.
Hindi po pipirmahan na namawala ng boses yung stakeholders, yung local government units. Hindi pwedeng alisin yung boses ng mga maaapektuhan.
All presidential aspirants also said they will continue the Build project. Moreno and Lacson took it one step further and said they want to bring back public-private partnerships to help fund key infrastructure.
Kung perfected na yung kontrata, hindi pwedeng hindi patupad. Pero dapat mag-shift na tayo papunta sa PPP, Public-Private Partnership.
All the candidates also talked about the importance of prioritizing healthcare and job creation, though left specific details out. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
Following the KBP's presidential forum, a political analyst expressed his satisfaction with the event, especially with regards to its format. Speaking on the big story, Professor Edmund Tayo said that forums tend to focus more on the candidates as compared to one-on-one interviews. Tayo, however, pointed out that there was not much of a difference in the platforms presented by the five presidential candidates.
There were attempts to present specific plans or specific program of action as far as key issues as education, health. But there's not much of a difference other than, of course, the priorities, or the approach that each of the candidate might have thought to be the right way to start the ball rolling.
Cayao, meanwhile, said that he would like to see presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos Jr. join forums or events similar to this. Marcos has declined a KBP's invitation due of conflict in schedule.
Well, I hope that the next events would allow us to see more of the former senator so that we can actually hear from him some of his thoughts on critical issues, particularly in the case of corruption.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Health Department has logged less than 10,000 new COVID-19 infections for the fifth straight day. Over 7,600 new cases have been added to the caseload, which has climbed to above 3,601,000, some 136,000 of which are still being treated. The virus killed only one patient overnight, with the deaths now standing at more than 54,200. Total recoveries are now at 3,410,000 after over 22,500 survivors were logged. 23.3% out of some 40,000 tests recently conducted yielded positive results. That's the lowest positivity rate since January 1st. The COVID-19 vaccination for kids aged 5 to 11 will push through on Monday despite the court petition against the program. National Vaccination Operations Center co-lead Dr. Kiza Rosario said that at least 38 jab sites in Metro Manila are now ready. Rosario noted that around 1.5 million vaccines are allotted for the pilot run, and they are hoping for a nationwide rollout by February 14. The Health Department has earlier assured the public that the shots underwent a strict regulatory process prior to the rollout.
Ito na din po yung time natin na magpabakuna ang ating mga 5 to 11 years old na mabigyan ng additional ng protection against COVID-19. Kayat natin lahat ng magulang na grab these opportunities.
With the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics having officially been opened on Friday night, all eyes were on Fil-Am skier Asa Miller, who carried the country's flag during the Parade of Nations. This is the second time that Miller carried the Philippine flag after doing so back in 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. The 21-year-old is set to compete in men's slalom and giant slalom starting on February 16. Miller is banking on a stronger outing this time around.
I'm very confident in my abilities and where my skiing is at the moment. And so I'm just hoping I can bring out the best of it on those competition days. I'm very proud, and I can't wait to show off and represent the Philippines.
Spurred Spurred by COVID-19 restrictions and diplomatic tensions, some Hong Kong residents are reportedly paying hundreds and thousands of dollars to take their pets with them as they leave the territory. Let's watch this video.
7-year-old Jude Tsai is flying on a private jet to the UK. He's starting a new life there with his family.
We love him just like he's our family. We have to bring him up. If we can't take my dog to the UK, then we will just stay in Hong Kong until we find a way to bring him there.
12 owners and their pets are on this private jet organized by Pet Holidays. The company charges around $26,700 for an owner with a pet under 22 pounds.
In this year, we will estimate we will around have 18 to 20 flights to around the world, like Singapore, Taiwan, and UK.
A growing number of Hong Kong residents are leaving, spurred by persistent restrictions for some and tensions for others. Annette is also leaving for a fresh start in Austria. But like others, she's discovering it's becoming increasingly difficult and expensive to relocate and take her pets with her.
Maybe the jet option is a better or more reliable way of booking because you're not so much worried about a specific airline being not allowed to fly in or out of Hong Kong.
It is getting much more difficult now, mainly because the amount of airlines coming to Hong Kong has sharply reduced. We are struggling with the airlines to get pets on planes, and that's why there's a lot of people turning to private jets to get their pets out in the time frame that they want to leave.
Hiring a private jet to travel with pets or chartering one and splitting the cost with others is becoming increasingly popular. Air Charter Service says it saw a 300% increase in demand in Hong Kong last year compared to the year before.
So in 2022, the demand for private jets flights with pets on board has certainly continued on the theme of last year, and we're seeing approximately one flight per week with pets on board. These are primarily currently private individuals doing so, purely because chartering an aircraft with groups does take a lot of time to organise, and they're often arranged far in advance to allow people to make suitable arrangements.
Annette is taking her chances and trying to organize a group charter. The main reason is to transport one of her dogs that has a heart condition, but there are other factors too.
The main benefit for pursuing this private jet option really is that you have access to your pet during the flight. If you can book a private jet, then I think you are more flexible in terms of being able to leave when you want to leave. I think the risk of the jet being cancelled is lower than if you're flying with or booking with a commercial airline these days, where it is very likely, in fact, that flights are being shifted around and that you have to adjust your date. This is kind of tricky to do if you have to prepare all the paperwork for the dogs and you have to have that paperwork ready in time for the flight.
So how much does it cost to fly by private jet from Hong Kong?
In terms of cost for chartering an aircraft, if you're looking to head, say for example, to the US or Europe, when you're looking to fly around about 12 or so hours, you're roughly looking at the region of 160 to 190,000 US dollars. When individuals are looking to come together and split the cost of the charter for one passenger and one pet, you're probably looking in the region of 20,000 US dollars.
And it's not just private jets that come with a hefty price tag. Steve says some airlines have increased their cargo rates by 1,000% since the start of the pandemic. And it's pet owners that are paying the price.
Let's go by Germany, for example, or a typical place in the EU. So for a small pet going as excess baggage, you're looking at around about 10 to 12,000 Hong Kong dollars. Whereas if you send as manifest cargo, you're looking at costs from 40 up to 200,000 Hong Kong dollars, depending on the size of your pet. It's basically heartbreaking to see where, one member of your family is treated differently, and you are forced to pay the huge price to keep your family together.
Now, for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.